So, in the land of equivalent ratios where we are existing, you have some power, right? Sometimes you have infinite mysteries, right? Or you have the power to decide both the numerator and denominator in terms of where you want to go to change it from your original ratio, right? So, if you had 1/4 and you had the power to scale it up or scale it down, right? Sometimes both the numerator and the denominator, or both parts of your ratio, are mysteries. In this case, how you are only working with one mystery and you're given a little clue. And so in this case, you're going to fill in the box here with a number that's going to make a ratio, the ratio, equivalent. Okay, so if we here have a 1/4 and we want to create an equivalent fraction or ratio, we need to see, well, what happened, right? What diva did we use to turn this 1 in the numerator spot into a 5? Well, we know that when we're scaling up, right, that's essentially what we just did. We scaled up because 5's bigger than 1. We multiplied. So we multiplied 1 by 5. And that's legal to do so long as whatever you do to the top, you do the same thing to the bottom. So we're going to do 4 times 5. So now our ratio becomes a 5 to 20 ratio. A 1 to 4 and a 5 to 20 are equivalent ratios. So as you work through here, sometimes you'll see that you're going to be scaling up, and other times you'll see that you're going to be scaling down. So say that we have number 14 here. You can work either direction here. You could say, well, what is 45 divided by 15? And that will give you the number that you're scaling down by, that you're dividing both the numerator and denominator by. Or you could say, what is 15 times mystery to get me to 45? So in that case, we know that it's 3, right? Either way you go. And whatever we do to the bottom, we got to do the same thing to the top. That's a 3. So we are going to then multiply. So even though we could use division to find the scaling factor, we can then work backwards to find the mystery. So 8 times 3 gets us 24. So we have 24/45 is equivalent to 8/15, right? As a fraction, or in the way we're interpreting now, as a ratio. So as we continue here, so we're given some information. The ratio of the number of students to the number of chaperones on a field trip is a 15 to 2 ratio. So if there are 60 students now, how many chaperones are there? So we know a couple things. Just like up here in the top portion, we have some information. We know we started with the 15 to 2 ratio, right? And we are going to be given, well, we know that there are 60 students to a mystery amount of chaperones, but we know that the relationship's proportional, right? We know that the relationship is going to be equivalent. So in this case, we could say 15 to 2 equals, well, students are on the top and chaperones are on the bottom. So we could make this a nice little mystery. So if we are looking here, we could say, well, 60 is bigger than 15, so we scaled up. Well, 15 times what gets us 60? We know that that is 4. So we can multiply both the top and bottom by 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2 times 4 gets us 8. So when there are 60 students on a field trip, there have to be 8 chaperones in order to keep the ratio equivalent.